Did you know that your nostrils work in relays without you even realizing it? Or that each step activates 200 muscles in your body? These are just some of the surprising curiosities that most people have never heard of. Small details that go unnoticed, but that reveal just how ingenious your body is. By understanding these secrets, you can see your own biology in a whole new way, and even use this knowledge to your advantage. So get ready, because some of these discoveries will change the way you see the world. Have you ever stopped to notice that, without even realizing it, you breathe predominantly through one nostril at a time? This happens due to a process called the nasal cycle, in which the body alternates the flow of air between the nostrils every few hours. It may seem like an insignificant detail, but this mechanism is essential for keeping the respiratory system working efficiently. While one nostril works hard filtering, warming, and humidifying the air, the other rests and recovers. If this rotation did not exist, your nasal passages could become dry and irritated much more quickly. This phenomenon can be noticed in a practical way. Try blocking one nostril and breathing only through the other for a few seconds. Then, switch sides. At a certain time of the day, you may notice that one of them is freer than the other. This happens because the body, intelligently, regulates this alternation to optimize oxygen uptake and impurity filtration. Curious, isn't it? This small anatomical detail has a direct impact on your health, but most people never stop to pay attention. Now, here's an interesting fact. This alternation is not random. The nasal cycle is influenced by factors such as sleeping position, physical activity, and even emotional states. That's why, when you have a cold, you may feel that one side of your nose is more blocked than the other, and then the sensation switches sides. Want to try it? Observe your breathing throughout the day and see how your body naturally makes this switch. And speaking of the body, have you ever stopped to think about the effort it takes for something as simple as walking? Walking may seem like a trivial thing, but the truth is that with every step, your body is involved in a real game of biomechanical coordination. No less than 200 muscles work together to maintain balance, drive movement, and ensure that you continue to move efficiently. The most impressive thing, all of this happens without you having to think. It's as if your body is a conductor conducting a complex orchestra, where each muscle has its own specific role to play in keeping you upright and moving. Now, imagine the impact this has on your daily life. If a simple step involves so much muscular activity, think of the effort required to climb stairs, run, or even stand for long periods. This is one of the reasons why walking regularly is so beneficial for your health. It strengthens not only the muscles in your legs, but also your joints and even your heart. And here's a tip. If you want to maximize the benefits, try varying your pace or walking on inclines. Small changes can add up to big gains. But do you know what's even more interesting? Your body has the ability to adapt and improve this process over time. If you walk regularly, your muscles will become more efficient and resilient, allowing the effort to be distributed evenly. This means that something as simple as taking the stairs instead of the elevator can make a real difference to your strength and endurance. And while we're on the subject of incredible internal processes, do you have any idea how much work your kidneys do every day? Your kidneys are state-of-the-art filters, working 24 hours a day to ensure that your blood is always clean. And the volume of work they do is impressive. Every day, around 190 liters of blood circulate through these organs, which act as true purification centers. But don't worry, this doesn't mean that you lose all of that liquid. Most of this blood is recycled and returned to the body, while impurities and toxins are eliminated in the urine. This process is so efficient that, without it, your body would quickly collapse. Now, imagine your kidneys as tireless workers in a factory, checking every drop of blood that passes through them. If you're drinking enough water, their work flows smoothly. But if you're not drinking enough water, your kidneys have to work harder to concentrate toxins and conserve fluid, which can lead to the formation of kidney stones. Want a simple way to know if you're hydrated? Look at the color of your urine. The clearer it is, the better your kidneys are working. If it's dark, it's a clear sign that they need more water to function efficiently. What's more, in addition to flushing out toxins, the kidneys regulate blood pressure, produce important hormones, and balance electrolyte levels in the blood. So keeping them healthy is essential for your overall well-being. Something as simple as drinking water regularly and avoiding excess salt can make a big difference. And speaking of amazing bodily functions, did you know that some people can hear their own eyes moving? It may seem strange, but some people can hear the sound of their own eyes moving. This is due to a condition called ocular microphonia, in which the auditory system picks up the small noises generated by the muscles that control the eyes. It is as if the ear is so sensitive that it can perceive internal movements that normally go unnoticed. For those who have this ability, turning the eyes from one side to the other can sound like a slight creaking or muffled noise inside the head. But how is this possible? The secret lies in the labyrinth of the inner ear, the region responsible for balance and hearing. In some people, this auditory system is so refined that it can capture even the smallest sounds generated inside the body. Something similar happens to those who hear their own blood flowing, especially in moments of absolute silence. If you have ever noticed a rhythmic sound inside your head when you are lying down, you may be hearing the blood flow passing close to the inner ear. Fascinating, isn't it? This phenomenon raises a curious question. To what extent are we aware of the internal sounds of our own body? We are often so surrounded by external noise that we ignore the small sounds that come from within. Perhaps it is worth taking a moment of silence to see if you have this auditory sensitivity. And since we are talking about tiny, functional structures, have you ever wondered how long your eyelashes last? Your eyelashes may seem like just an aesthetic detail, but in reality, they are tireless soldiers in protecting your eyes. They act as a natural barrier against dust, airborne particles, and even small insects that can cause irritation. However, what few people realize is that these tiny hairs have a well-defined life cycle, lasting on average 3 months. Just like strands of hair, they grow, fall out, and are replaced naturally, without you noticing. This renewal cycle is a clear example of how the body works silently to keep everything in order. Every day, you may lose a few eyelashes without even realizing it, and new ones will already be growing to take their place. The problem arises when bad habits interfere with this process, such as excessive use of makeup or lack of hygiene in the eye area. Excessive mascara, for example, can weaken the hairs and accelerate their loss, making them thinner over time. And here's a fun fact. Eyelashes grow slower than scalp hair, so plucking a single lash can mean waiting months for it to grow back to its original length. If you want to keep your eyelashes healthy and strong, avoid rubbing your eyes too often and keep the area clean. The body, wisely, constantly regenerates itself, but have you ever stopped to think about what happens when your brain is deprived of oxygen? The brain is a fascinating and highly demanding organ. Despite accounting for only 2% of body weight, it consumes around 20% of the oxygen we breathe. But what happens if this supply is interrupted? When the flow of oxygen stops, whether due to cardiac arrest, drowning, or asphyxiation, the brain does not shut down instantly. It continues to function for around 6 minutes before the damage becomes irreversible. This short interval of time can be the difference between life and death, which explains the importance of rapid first aid in critical situations. Now, think in practical terms. If someone collapses due to lack of oxygen, every second counts. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, may be the only chance of preventing permanent brain damage. This is one of the reasons why learning first aid maneuvers should be basic knowledge for everyone. A valuable tip: if you see someone unconscious, call emergency services immediately and, if possible, begin chest compressions until specialized help arrives. Small gestures can save lives. This phenomenon also explains why high-performance athletes train breathing techniques to optimize oxygen use. Practices such as controlled apnea and diaphragmatic breathing help the body to last longer without feeling the effects of deprivation. The brain works all the time to keep it alive and functioning at its maximum potential. But do we use it fully or just a small fraction? There's a popular myth that says we only use 10% of our brain, but science has proven that to be false. The reality is that we use 100% of our brain, just not all at once. Each area of the brain has a specific function, activating as needed. When you're solving a math problem, regions related to logic come into play. When you listen to music or feel a strong emotion, other areas take over. The brain is a veritable hub of operations, strategically distributing energy to optimize each task. Think of it like a huge building where the lights turn on different floors depending on where there's activity. One moment, you might be processing an old memory. The next, your brain is focused on coordinating your movements as you walk. This means that there's no idle space in the brain. It's always working, even while you're sleeping. In fact, while we sleep, Our minds are processing information, organizing memories, and even reinforcing the learning we've acquired throughout the day. And here's a fun fact. Training your brain with new challenges can expand its processing capacity. Learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or even just changing small daily routines can help stimulate different areas of your brain. Your brain has immense potential, and you're already using it to its full potential. You just need to activate it in the right way. And now, after so many surprising discoveries, it's time to put it all together and understand how these curiosities can change the way you see the world. So, which of these curiosities surprised you the most? Have you noticed any of them before? Now that you know these incredible details about your body, how about trying them out in your daily life? Observing your breathing, noticing the effort of your muscles, or even paying attention to internal sounds can change your perception of yourself. Knowledge only makes a difference when applied. Small adjustments to your habits can help you use your body more intelligently. Want to continue discovering surprising facts? Then subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.